The question for today on our series that we call 99 Questions About the College Football Season, which, by the way, I think we're down to like 11 days, which is less shows.
Are you ready?
Until college football. You're darn right I'm ready. 99 questions about the college football season. We've been doing one a day for months now, leading up to opening kickoff. Today's is college football really that wide open? For months, we've been hearing, oh, this year there's so many different teams that can make it. Oh, with the expanded college football playoff, it's anybody's game. If there's no true dominant superstar juggernaut team. Even the teams like Georgia have their question marks, and on and on and on and on. Is it really like that? The reason I ask is because obviously we track the ACC here, right? We're tracking the teams in the triangle. We're tracking the teams they compete with for conference championships. So we're tracking the ACC. And I noticed something. Coaches poll, AP poll. There's something called the SP Plus ranking, which is analytics. So I tried to grab one from each spot, right? Coaches, which would be like the football guys, right? The ones in the know. The AP poll, which would be the media, supposedly the ones that cover the sport, coast to coast. And then SP Plus ranking, which is the numbers, analytics, take the human element out of it. And I was just looking at the ACC teams that are ranked in the top 25. Florida State in the coaches poll is 10th, in the AP poll is 10th, in the SP Plus ranking is 12th. Clemson, 14th, 16th. Miami, 19th, 19th. State, a little bit more variation. 22nd, 24th, 29th. That's not that different. If everything's wide open, wouldn't there be different people with different opinions? Right? If everything's wide open, wouldn't the 6th-ranked team in one poll be the 27th-ranked team in another poll because it's wide open?
Well, not even that. I just see a lot of parity in a lot of these polls. I feel like for it to be a little more open, you would see some of the teams that got receiving votes, like a Virginia Tech or even App State, land in these rankings somewhere.
They'd bounce in or bounce out. It's there's two things it could be, and I want to be open to this. Could just be groupthink, right? It could be, I don't know who's the best teams, and you just hear someone else say a ranking, so then you go, all right, no one will make fun of me if I say what they said. And then the next person hears you say it, and the next person hears them say it, and then by the end, everybody turns in the same numbers, even though we genuinely have no clue. Or it could be this. We don't know. We are going into, and by the way, you don't hear people in sports radio say this. We don't know. We are going into a college football season after unprecedented change, and we don't know who's going to be good. So we blindly believe in brands. Who's going to be the best in the ACC? Florida State and Clemson. Did you look at the rosters, or did you just search on Twitter for who has the most followers? Like it's just you bet on brands because you have nothing else to go off of. And I thought this was an interesting soundbite here. Jump to the Justin Wilcox soundbite. Cal put out their behind the scenes
Golden Era.
It's called Golden Era.
It's like their Hard Knocks version.
Exactly. Their own team put together Hard Knocks. And their coach, Justin Wilcox, who we talked to at ACC Kickoff, talked about the challenges to begin this season.
This is what we need from everybody right here. I don't care if you're coaching, playing, okay, if you're strength, your training room, or nutrition. Okay, when we're here, we're all in. A lot of different ways to run offense and defense, a lot of different strength and conditioning, okay? But when we're here, we're all in. We're doing it our way. We got to commit to doing it our way. We are not asking for a 6-year commitment or a 4-year, okay, or a 2-year. When you're here, you're all in. That's how we're doing it, okay? College football is different. There's movement. We got 50 new faces in here. It's friggin' awesome. You guys have come together great, okay? But for this to work, for us to achieve what we want to achieve, you got to be into doing it our way. You guys got me there? Sure. Okay.
It's about one moment. He's not asking for a 2-3 year commitment. He's saying, hey, when your feet are in this building, work hard. That's as far as college football goes anymore.
It's really about just one roster at a time.
It's about one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. And because of that, it makes every year, and we've talked about this a little bit, it makes every year its own thing. You can put up barriers between last year's team and this year's team. Right? The coaches poll used to be this. Coaches would look at a team last year that won a bunch of games, that didn't lose many starters to the pros in graduation, and hopefully they won their last 3 games in a bowl game, and you'd say they were trending up, and then you'd put them in your college football top 25. Nowadays, you can't do that. You can't look at last year for how good this year's team's going to be. Even if they kept a lot of, like if you're a team like Virginia Tech, right, they brought back at 21 out of 22 starters, 22 out of 22 starters, depending on where you look and what you consider a starter, right? And start 7 games where they brought back a ton of starters. You can't even look at Virginia Tech and say this is where they're going to be in the ACC because they're improving, because are they better or worse than NC State? Well, NC State has a new quarterback, a new running back, a new wide receiver, a new tight end, a new offensive lineman, a new defensive back, a new this, a new that, a new everything. All right, well, what about Duke? Last 2 years, Duke's been on the up and up, right? Last year, for the first time, hosted College Game Day for football. They beat Clemson. Well, guess what? Off of that success, the coach left. Off of that success, the quarterback left. Made a whole bunch of money from Notre Dame. It's last year doesn't matter for this year. So what do you do for coaches polls, AP polls? What do you do? I don't know. Pick the teams that are usually good.
Yeah.
Pick the teams that are usually good. You look at the top, it's Georgia, it's Bama, it's Oregon. It's the same teams that have been near the top each of the last few years. So is it groupthink? Yes, but it's also like, what else are you supposed to do? I'm as high as anybody I know on NC State, right? I really like what they did in the transfer portal. I think they brought in teams that they brought in players that they needed to level up, their offense especially. But if you truth serum me, right, if you put truth serum into my veins, I can't talk with certainty about NC State at all. Grayson McCall was great at Coastal Carolina. That's not the ACC. I think some of that skill set's going to translate. I can't talk with definitive nature. In the past, if you were going to put a team in the top 25, there's a good chance you saw the quarterback play for that team last year. Nowadays, it's not only did I not see that, I don't see the coach, I don't see the running back, the wide receiver. Each year is so in a one year like section era that coaches like Justin Wilcox at Cal are going, I don't even want to talk about next year. Heck, by the second semester, some of you are going to be in the transfer portal, or at least mentally there if the window hasn't opened. So let's focus on this week getting better. And when coaches are thinking like that, how the heck are we supposed to know what carries over from season to season?